At first glance, the country of Guinea-Bissau doesn't look like much more than a tiny speck on the map. However, it is home to a massive network of almost 90 islands off its shores. These islands, called the Bisagos Islands, are run by a matriarchal society. On these islands, women are leaders in law, economy, spirituality, and marriage arrangements. Because Guinea-Bissau was colonized by Portugal, the official language is Portuguese, making it one of two countries in West Africa with an official language other than French or English. However, only about 11% to 14% of the population actually speaks Portuguese, with the real language being a Portuguese-based Creole. Political instability, criminal drug trafficking, and a lack of educational and skills training opportunities for youth in Guinea-Bissau means that most people live below the poverty line. But take a closer look and you'll discover a land bursting with rich cultural heritage and an economy centered around buttery, cashews, and sweet mangoes, but also a darker side of being known as the narco state of Africa. By the end of this video, you'll learn a brief history of Guinea-Bissau and also how the economy has been progressing. Also, I'll reveal some investment opportunities for you to pursue, so definitely keep watch till the end. The pre-colonial history of Guinea-Bissau has not been fully documented in the archaeological record. The area has been occupied for at least a millennium, first by hunters and gatherers, and later by decentralized animalist agriculturalists who use iron implements for their rice farming. Ethnogenesis and inter-ethnic dynamics in the 13th century began to put some of these agriculturalists closer to the coast, while others intermixed with the intrusive Mande as the Mali Empire expanded into the area. In the case of what is now Guinea-Bissau, this state was known as Kabul. The Balanta people who today live along the southern coast are probably the group that has been in Guinea-Bissau the longest, later joined by Mandinga and Fula. The Portuguese reached the coast in the mid-15th century and traded for gold, ivory, pepper, and slaves. They established permanent trading posts along the coast in the 16th century and encouraged raids of neighboring ethnic groups for slaves as the demand grew. The first European to encounter Guinea-Bissau was the Portuguese explorer Nuno Tristo in 1446. Colonists in the Cape Verde Islands obtained trading rights in the territory, and it became a center of the Portuguese slave trade. In 1879, the connection with the islands was broken. The entire country became a Portuguese colony in the 19th century, known as Portuguese Guinea. Guinea-Bissau has a history of political and institutional fragility dating back to its independence from Portugal in September 10, 1974. It is one of the most coup-prone and politically unstable countries in the world. Since independence, 4 successful coups have been recorded, with another 16 coups attempted, plotted, or alleged. Guinea-Bissau's Atlantic Ocean coast is comprised of the Bisagos archipelago of about 90 islands. It borders Senegal to the north and Guinea to the south and east. It is about the size of Maryland, and despite its size, is host to a variety of different ethnic groups, languages, and religions. For much of the 20th century, the economy of Bissau prospered because of the export of cashews, peanuts, palm oil, hardwoods, and rubber, all of which were grown or produced in the areas surrounding the city. The Portuguese built some roads, a few bridges, hospitals, and schools. Education at the primary school level is almost universal. However, attendance and quality of education are low due to lack of resources. Teachers are poorly trained and paid, sometimes not receiving salaries for months at a time. For economic reasons, children often are required to help families in the fields, which conflicts with schooling. The transportation system in Guinea-Bissau is generally poor because of inadequacies with bridges, connecting services, and maintenance. Some roads in Guinea-Bissau are paid for all-weather use, but much of the country is served by unpaved roadways. Many households and hamlets are accessible only by footpaths and canoes. There are no railways. Only 10% of the national road network is tarred. The airport at Bissau handles international air traffic, while several smaller airports and landing strips serve the inner portions of the country. Shipping and ferry services connect the sea and river ports along the coast with the interior. The country's main port is located at Bissau. The healthcare delivery system during the colonial period was grossly inadequate. Healthcare facilities were concentrated in the cities and towns, and the average expenditure per person was extremely low. Healthcare services have improved since independence, but the situation is still very poor. Improper sanitation and waste management remain significant public health challenges, and much of the population remains undernourished. Favorable circumstances. Clinics and first aid centers operate at the local level, with the small hospitals that operate in larger towns. The main hospital in Bissau routinely faces critical shortages of necessities such as drugs, bandages, anesthetics, antibiotics, and plasma. Family planning, maternal and infant healthcare, power and water supply, and refrigeration are all rudimentary. Although the number of hospital beds has greatly increased since independence, availability is still vastly short of need. Furthermore, since the number of nurses has not kept pace with the increase in hospital beds, nursing service has actually declined. Amilcar Cabral University of Guinea-Bissau, both founded in 2003 and based in Bissau, provide opportunities for higher education. There are also schools for teacher training, nursing, and vocational training. Only 21% of the population has electricity. There are also no telephone lines. The economy of Guinea-Bissau includes a mixture of state-owned and private companies. Plans for industrial development have been reduced, and those supporting agriculture have been increased. The economy is largely agricultural, with good prospects for forestry and fishery development. Foods produced for local consumption include rice, vegetables, beans, cassava, potatoes, palm oil, and peanuts. Livestock includes pigs, goats, sheep, cattle, and poultry. Fish and shrimp raised for both domestic consumption and export are also important. Guinea-Bissau is heavily forested, with forest cover on about 3/5 of its land. Most wood harvests are used for domestic fuel, but the country exports small amounts of sawn wood. The export of commercial items such as cashew, palm products, rice, peanuts, timber, and cotton has long played an important role in the country's economy. Bissau is the capital of the nation of Guinea-Bissau. It is located on the Geba River estuary on the Atlantic Ocean, on a peninsula that used to be an island. Guinea-Bissau is divided into 8 regions and 1 autonomous sector. These, in turn, are subdivided into 37 sectors. The Republic of Guinea-Bissau has an estimated population of 1.7 million people. Guinea-Bissau is one of the world's poorest countries, with more than 2/3 of its population living below the poverty line. The economy depends heavily on foreign aid to support the governmental bureaucracy, teachers and health workers, and the oversized military. The economy is basically agriculture. The vast majority of residents live off of what they and the neighbors grow. Villagers depend on funds from immigrant workers. The production of cashew nuts is vital to the economy, making up over 85% of the country's total exports. The economy and infrastructure have been poorly managed, leading to a reliance on international aid and imports. Weak infrastructure, the lack of equipment, and unskilled labor are the major obstacles to increasing output in the country's main economic sector, agriculture. Without these resources, Guinea-Bissau is unable to exploit its abundant fish reserves due to its lack of a modern fleet and port facilities. Hence, fishing is contracted out to foreign fleets. Manufacturing is also small, and mining is underdeveloped. Only a few small-scale industries exist. These include food processing, brewing, and the processing of cotton, timber, and other goods. Much of Guinea-Bissau's industrial capacity was damaged on the conflict of the late 1990s. The country has become an increasingly important transit country for Latin America, cocaine en route to Europe, aided by an environment of pervasive corruption. The archipelago-like geography around the capital also facilitates drug smuggling. There is potential for development of minerals. Resources such as phosphates, bauxite, and mineral sands are present, and Guinea-Bissau has begun with the exploration of offshore oil and gas. The most recent exports are led by coconuts, Brazil nuts, and cashews, gold, non-fillet, frozen fish, rough wood, and aluminum ore. The most common destination for the exports of Guinea-Bissau are India, Belgium, Ivory Coast, China, and Ghana. The most recent imports of Guinea-Bissau are led by refined petroleum, rice, wheat flour, soups and broths, and malt extract. The most common import partners for Guinea-Bissau are Portugal, Senegal, China, Netherlands, and Pakistan. The corporate income tax rate is 25%, and the West African franc is the currency used. So given the state of Guinea-Bissau, there's a lot of opportunities for investment inside the country. So starting with the first one, agriculture. Agriculture is always going to be a big thing when it comes to these developing nations. Obviously, the people need to feed themselves, but not just planting and doing the farming, but also equipment to make the proceeds from all that farming work more productive, to be more efficient, to get better yield. This is always going to be something that can be used in a lot of these developing nations, especially Guinea-Bissau, and even incorporating green technologies is another area or another street that you could go down that can offer a lot of benefit for the community, for the country, and also for your own pocketbook. The next thing, Guinea-Bissau is lacking a lot of infrastructure. Infrastructure is lacking, so with that, you need the hospitals, you need the schools, you need the roads. Everything needs to be added, bridges. Like, you can't really function as a country if you don't have the basic necessities there. So if you're in the construction space or you're pretty good at city planning, then that can be an area where, hey, you can talk with the government. I don't know how the government is. It can corruption and drugs and all the other stuff, but still, this is an opportunity that you can invest in. It's needed in the country, and someone has to take that first leap of faith and make it work. So that's another area that you can focus on. When it comes to just renewable energy is a big thing. If the country's going to grow, that means it's going to be more demand for electricity. Electricity production in Guinea-Bissau is not great. It's a very small country, and unfortunately the infrastructure for energy is not where it needs to be. So this is an opportunity where you can invest in that type of infrastructure, that type of industry. It can be with just cables, wires, even when it comes inside the homes, businesses, outlets, anything like that. All that stuff is needed in order to have robust electrical capacity that can sustain itself over the years. So that's another area that you need to be looking at as far as in Guinea-Bissau. Now, Guinea-Bissau also has a lot of minerals. So exporting minerals, processing minerals, that industry is underdeveloped, and it's at the moment it's only small scale operations that's going on. So if you want to get into it early on, then this is another area that you can invest in. And of course, you got the phosphates, bauxite, diamond, gold, like it's all wrapped into it. So maybe if you don't want to do the mining, then you can be creating the replacement parts for like conveyor belts and things of that nature. So be creative. Think about the stuff that people don't think about. It's the little components, the nuts, the bolts, those type of things that people overlook, and those are necessary. So really, in any West African country, focus on replacement parts. If you can provide that, or even do like trade, import, exports, and you can be the one that supplies that type of equipment and products, then you're gonna stand out from a lot of other people that try to get into the investment game in West Africa. And then of course, Guinea-Bissau has a lot of forest. Most of its land is covered in forest, so that is an opportunity for wood. Now, you do want to keep in mind about deforestation, the destruction to the environment. Regardless, I think something I will probably do is, because there's so much deforestation happening in a lot of West African countries, an idea that I will have is starting a tree farm where I grow certain trees that replenish the minerals in the ground and can stop deforestation, create more rains. Like, there's trees that actually can make it rain more. If you look at some of the tree types in the Amazon, you'll see that they actually contribute to it being a tropical area. So I'll probably focus on something like that, since there's so many trees already and I don't want to destroy the environment just by chopping down trees and selling it. I'll probably look at something like that. So if I was going to do any type of investment in Guinea-Bissau, then I'll just focus on the mining sector and expand to processing goods for construction products. Mining is already underdeveloped. I don't believe there's many. It's small scale, so I don't really have to worry about monopolies like that or any that type of nefarious actions going on in the mining sector. So I'll look at mining just to get my start, and then reinvest in some construction opportunities that come my way. So that's how I'll do it if I was going to invest in Guinea-Bissau. If you're interested in an entrepreneurial story, I have one for you. Serial entrepreneur turns to farming with locally made tractor. So I hope this video better allowed you to understand the economy of Guinea-Bissau and a little bit about the history. If you have any relevant topics that you want me to do a video on, then please let me know in the comment section down below. Also, if you like this type of video, then definitely subscribe to my channel and click the bell so that you're alerted when I do drop new videos. If you find this video helpful and you think someone else would benefit from this video, then please share this video with them and also my channel so that it can help me grow. Always check the description of my videos. I leave a lot of resources for you all to check out for your own entrepreneurial journey. If you're trying to do some personal development, I have a lot of resources in there, so definitely check it out when you get a chance. Appreciate you listening to this video, and I'll see you in the next one.